Hello again, Upgrade System Ulysses. On this video I would like to review the weapon upgrade system for Earth Defense Force 5. I have, let's see in my stats here, I have over 880 hours in this particular game save, as you can see the top stat there. And I also have 60 hours in another game save. So I feel like at this point I have a decent understanding of the upgrade system, and I'd like to just share my thoughts about it and to review it. I do not have, after 900 hours of playing, all my weapons upgraded. However, don't worry about that. I will get to that later as to why I don't. So I'd like to review the new upgrade system. However, let's start with the old way. In the old games, in the EDF games, it was pretty much a one and done. You get the weapon once and you never have to worry about it again. However, the way the previous EDF series worked was any given level could drop a very wide spread of weapon levels. Like for example, one level could drop between level 0 and all the way up to level 35 or 40 level weapons. So it was a lot harder to fine-tune the specific weapons you needed or were missing. So it's very high RNG involved in the previous EDF games. Like say for example, I've heard stories from people that said they could never get a certain particular weapon. For me personally, when I started farming, I got the Gungnir and the Idun weapon for Wingdiver, which is two of her best weapons, in the first few tries of farming, whereas the Lysander Z and Spinedriver took me over 10 hours of farming one particular mission. So obviously some improvements could be made. The new system is different in that as far as how it's similar, it is once you unlock the weapon once in EDF 5, it is unlocked forever. That weapon is yours. However, there is now a stat attached to the weapon. Like say for example, this sniper rifle. If you look at the stats on the right side, let's say for example the 9, that's the first stat, the 9, that's the magazine size, and there's a 7 star next to it. And then the next stat below it is 0.82, that's the fire rate per second, and then there's a 7 star next to it. So now each stat has a star rating next to it, which shows how high that stat is. Like say for example, if it's a solid white star, that means that stat is completely maxed out. It cannot go any higher. Sometimes the stat will max out at 7, sometimes the stat will max out at 8 or 9 or whatever. It depends on the weapon, but that just means that it's maxed out. Whereas the third stat down, 2514, is the damage, and it's a 6 with a hollow star, which means it can upgrade again, so it can go up higher. So that's new to the EDF 5 series. So that means you can now upgrade all of your weapons, which is a pretty interesting thing for the EDF series. So now when you get that weapon again, the stats could go up or they could just remain the same. They will never go down. Sometimes one stat will go up, sometimes all the stats will go up. Depends on just on the drop of that weapon. If the weapon that dropped of the same weapon you have is better than the one you have, the stat that is better will go up, and it'll just keep maxing up higher and higher until that weapon is maxed out. The upgrades are also very substantial. Like say for example, if you have the damage at 0 star and then you max it out to whatever the max is, 8 or 9 star, that upgrade could be 3 or 4 times the number of the 0 stat when it's at 0 stars. So the upgrades are very substantial, and when you do get them, it's exciting because it's something that makes a difference, and it's something you'll notice. Typically, the increases that happen to your weapon are pretty high. Like there's a high chance you'll get an increase on your weapon when it drops again. Until, like say for example, you have like this weapon, for example, Lysander Z. I have 5 of the stats are maxed out, and the other 2 are 8s. So the chance of getting this weapon to upgrade is going to be a lot higher than a weapon that is lower, that has the stats a lot lower. So that's something, of course, that would make sense. But typically, it is pretty safe. You're going to get a weapon to go up when you play a mission, which is nice. A very large difference though in EDF 5 is the levels drop a lot tighter spread of weapons. Like say for example, I was saying in the previous EDF games, you could have one level could drop level 0 weapons all the way up to level 40 or 45. Whereas in this game, it's about a 10 to 15 level spread. So therefore, since it drops a tighter level of weapons, it's a lot easier to pick a mission for, like say you're missing level 80 sniper rifle. Well, you can play any missions that drop between level 70 to 80, 75 to 85, 80 to 90. Like any of those missions, you could pinpoint and get and try and search for this KFF 70. So it's a lot easier to get specific weapons, and it's also a lot easier to upgrade those specific weapons, because you can go ahead and pinpoint that mission you know drops within this level, and then you can just farm those missions, whether that particular mission or the one above it, the one below it, a few above it, and a few below it actually. So I think farming is a lot less tedious. Like, say for example, on my fencer, I really wanted to upgrade my level 71 high altitude missiles, because they're very good even on Inferno. So therefore what I would do is I would play the game and I would say, oh, this mission drops between 75 and 85. Or sorry, not 75. This mission drops between level 65 and level 75 weapons. Well, I can play this mission and try and farm this weapon, or I can play the missions above it or below it, because they also will drop this level of weapons. So it's a lot easier for me to actually pinpoint this weapon that I wanted to farm and get it maxed out. I didn't get it fully maxed out, but I got it the stats that I wanted fully maxed out. And I could continue if I wanted to max it out completely, but it's a lot easier to pinpoint the missions you need to farm for specific weapons, and it also gives you more variety of the missions you can farm for. It's not just always one mission, this is the best farm mission, get used to it and you're going to get tired of that mission because you're always playing it. You now have a lot more options as far as what missions you can farm for, which is very cool, in my opinion. And then once I upgraded this weapon, I could say, well, you know what? I'm happy I got my missiles upgraded. Now I can go on to, you know what? This Stampede weapon, level 83, is very strong. I really want to max this weapon out. Well, now let me start when I want to farm here and there on the side. Now let me try and farm the missions that drop between 80 and 90 or 75 and 85, so I can farm this particular weapon and then max this weapon out and go on to the next. So it kind of gets you invested and excited about, hey, I want to work on this weapon this time when I farm, so let me farm this blast hole spear at level 78. So it gives you more options, more levels to farm, and it also gives you a lot easier, you feel like you're more in control of how you farm and of getting the weapons that you actually want from a farm session, which is nice. And as I mentioned previously, I have over 880 hours in this game, and I still look forward to weapon drops because I don't have everything maxed out. The reason I don't have everything maxed out is because I have not really farmed very much in this particular game. And partly is because EDF 5 seems to drop a lot more items than the previous EDF games. I'm assuming they did that because of the upgrade system. You need more weapons more weapon drops so you can upgrade more quickly. But like, say if you just dedicate your time to farming, you probably could upgrade your weapons to max relatively. I mean, it's going to take time, of course, but you probably could do it, whereas I wasn't really focused on it, and like I said, I just pinpointed the weapons I wanted to upgrade and worked on those. But I think you could definitely max out your weapons if you put your mind to it and actually wanted to do that specific thing, which I probably will do in the English version, honestly. The upgrade system is good for players that just want to play casually on the side once in a while. They want to just beat this game on hard and then they're done, move on to the next game. It's fine for them because the weapons that will drop in a level for them will be high enough for them to complete the game on hard, and they'll have probably middle to above average stats on their weapons, at least the hard level weapons that they're going to get from the level. Whereas a person like me that wants to play a very long time, even for a person like me, I will still have something to look forward to as well, which would be more of like the high-end weapons, and I'm trying to max out my weapon stats, and I want to get all the weapons. Like a person like me that wants to farm everything and be a completionist, it's also good for that person as well. So I think they did a very good job in this, in that I don't feel like you need to have your weapon. You don't need to actually farm for weapon stats if you want to play this game on the side, but if you want to play at the highest level and want to complete it, then you will be motivated to upgrade them completely. So I hope that they keep this system in place in the future. As far as my opinion goes, I think they did a perfect job on the upgrade system. I don't think I could have done a better job myself. I can't think of anything that I would want to change personally, honestly, through the weapon upgrade system. I think everything they did was perfect. I like how it's a tighter spread of weapons per level. I like how the stats can go up, like a few or all of them could go up in a drop. You never know what you're going to get. I like how you feel like you're more in control of RNG. You can pick a mission that you know will drop this weapon type, and you have a very tight spread of weapons, so chances are you'll get that weapon. So I can't really think of anything that I would actually want to change to the upgrade system, honestly. So overall, I think for people that love the EDF series and want to play this game, to completion and enjoy just how long the game is because of the over 111 missions, I think, and plus the DLC, I think they will actually be very happy with this upgrade system, and because it seems like games are nowadays going more towards, you know, upgrade systems and leveling and more like RPG systems, which I think is actually a good fit for the series, and I'm very happy because it complements very well the health system as well, where you could always increase your health. Like say you're struggling on a certain mission, you can always get more armor and complete it the next time because you have more health. And now you'd also feel like you're investing into your weapon system as well. So very happy overall. I think it's a great system. I hope that you will enjoy it as well when it comes out in the West here. And I guess give me your opinions as well in the comments. I'm curious what you think of the upgrade system, and that'll be all for this video. So once again, thanks a lot for watching, and remember, EDF doesn't leave a man behind, ever. And if you'd like to help more people find the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, as it does make a big difference. Thanks a lot.